Powered by Arkansas, for Arkansas. This is Inside Arkansas Football.
And welcome into the Inside Arkansas Football pregame show presented by BetSaracen here on Inside Arkansas. I am John Neighbors alongside Curtis Wilkerson and Andrew Ellis, and appreciate each and every one of you for making us a part of your morning this morning, as it is officially game day for the Razorbacks. Alabama A&M coming into town, happening today in Fayetteville at Razorback Stadium. The weather's looking great. The vibes were great. We've had college football already. We got college game day going on. I mean, it's just, guys, it's great. It's great to finally be here, and it's great to do this pregame show, and it's great to just feel alive for college football and Razorback football today.
Look, Ma, we finally made it. It's crazy, man. You know, we were talking about the dog days, and there was a time, and it wasn't that long ago, where people were just a little bit about football season. We said all along, listen, when college baseball is over, when we get to the dog days, we're doing the Mount Rushmore topics of everything. There's going to be a turning point where everybody goes, God, please get us to the start of football season. We were right. Everybody's excited. We're here. I'm looking forward to it. Saturdays are for the boys. I'm glad that we're doing this pregame show. It's going to be a good time.
Saturdays are also for the pig. And I'm excited to watch the pig, man. I'm excited that the pigs are playing here in Fayetteville. I don't mean that as a knock on Little Rock or, you know, even neutral site games or whatever, but doesn't it just kind of feel right that you're playing in your home stadium to start the year and we all get to go watch them? And by the way, still plenty of tickets available. So if you're in the area and you're watching, you're like, man, I kind of wish I was going to the game. You can for about $12. So do that. But no, man, I'm really excited about just football in general. And that's kind of been my stance, Curtis, has been I'm excited for just football season. And Arkansas playing is part of that football season. And, you know, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But, like, I'm just excited to watch the pads pop. And we get to watch a lot of pads pop today. I'm excited.
That's right. That's right. We're going to have all of our little predictions, bowl predictions. We're going to have some BetSaracen prop plays to get into, players to challenge. We're going to have a lot of different things that we're going to want to jump into. So if you want in on it, let's get into the chat, into the conversation, and we'll make it happen. It's going to be a lot of fun. But fellas, just before we get into the specifics of today and everything, just as a quick little thing from last night. I know we're talking Razorback football, but you know the Auburn game and everything. Just so far, how do you feel about the season in college football? At least some of the teams that Arkansas is going to play this season that we've watched already. How do we feel there?
I thought, let's see, a couple nights ago, Missouri won by like 60 points, but I was watching them thinking, boy, they sure look gettable for Arkansas there. You just know how it goes at the end of every year. Auburn last night, you know, I thought they looked quite a bit better than they did last year. This time a year ago, we were watching Auburn get their ass kicked at home by Cal, and they're changing quarterbacks in the third quarter and everything. You're like, oh, this is a disaster. And they certainly weren't perfect. I know turnovers was a big problem for them last year, and they didn't necessarily have a lot of those yesterday, but they did some very stupid things that probably kept them from really blowing Baylor out. But I thought they looked quite a bit better. They controlled the line of scrimmage. Jackson Arnold looked like, I think, what did Andrew say, prime Mike Vick out there or whatever. So they're improved, and we kind of know how that series goes as well in terms of the road team having success. So listen, Arkansas is going to have their challenges, but all I did was tweet out, wow, yeah, Auburn looks better. And then automatically somebody said, well, it's just another loss for Arkansas. We haven't even seen the Razorbacks yet. Let's watch them play before we start making those judgments here, because I have a feeling they're going to ball out this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. I was impressed with Auburn. I thought they looked pretty good. I thought it was a game they needed to win. Like, no qualms about that. Like, Friday at Alumni Hall, I was like, if Auburn doesn't win this game, that's going to be a big deal. Like, it's going to be such a dark cloud immediately, right, for their season and their program and Hugh Freeze, and it could get real toxic real quick. You can shut all that up with a good performance. That's what the beauty of college football season, the beauty of everything. I mean, not that Arkansas is going to shut people up with their performance today, but you just go out there, you get another week, you get a chance to make a statement and prove people wrong. And Auburn looked great last night. Last night with Auburn and Georgia Tech and Haynes King and Jackson Arnold was the night of white boys running QB power. A little prime Tim Tebow action, you know, just straight up. Jackson Arnold was taking one look and then taking off and running. With Georgia Tech, bro, they just literally were just like, hey, calling your own number 10, run the ball right up the middle. And they down the stretch kind of wore Colorado down. Georgia Tech didn't look that great, but I liked that game. I thought it was a fun one to watch. And I don't know how good Baylor's going to be, so we'll see how that win ages for Auburn. But they avoided disaster, looked pretty good doing it. I think they refreshed their vibe a little bit. But that's the beauty of week one is it doesn't take – you start off 1-0. Doesn't matter how you did it, 1-0. you're solid. You're on track for an undefeated season, and I'm excited to talk about the Razorbacks in that kind of light here soon.
I'll tell you this, had Arkansas gone on the road in week 1 and picked up a 2-touchdown win at Baylor, we'd be giddy this morning. We'd be fired up for it, man. So, yeah, decent win for them there for sure. They got a lot to work on, but got to be honest with you, I don't care about them right now. I care about the Razorbacks. I'm excited for this game. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this show, too, because this is a little bit different than what we did last year, but we would do pregame stuff last year. We put it out on Thursdays or something. It's the first time we've done like a live pregame type of show, but this is important. And I do, before we get into it, kind of want to challenge the chat a little bit, because what Andrew and I did last year is we would do these pregames and we would always have, based on the matchups, like, all right, we're going to issue a challenge or two to certain Razorbacks. We've got a couple bold predictions that we're going to put out there for the game. And then after the game, we would hold ourselves accountable for the crazy stuff that we said. And we'd do those accountability sessions where it's like, okay, I said that Taylor Green was going to throw 5 touchdowns. He threw 2 interceptions and didn't have a touchdown. I'm an idiot. We hold ourselves accountable for what we say around here. Now we're holding you accountable in the chat. So if you're putting your fire takes in here this morning, we're going to keep track of them. Intern Cameron is here to keep track of what you say. And so when we run it back on ourselves later, we're going to run it back on you too. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, and just to let you know, intern Cameron, he's writing it all down. And even if he's wrong in your eyes, he's right in ours. So it doesn't matter. If he gets it wrong, he's right. And we're going with him. We're siding with him. So you have no say in the matter. You can't fight that. But either way, yeah, get in on it. It's going to be great. We're going to have some fun and obviously get into a lot of specifics today. But according to BetSaracen, Arkansas favored by 46.5 points today over Alabama A&M, at least where it currently states. The over-under set at 62.5. So if any of you want that, get in on that action, as we'll have some of the specials and some of the props to get into as well. But, we, as you guys have said, we've talked about this game and this season and all of that. It's almost like we don't need to really talk more about the team and the matchup and everything. We just need to talk about the fun stuff and then the good stuff. So let's go ahead and get into the players to challenge today, because there are some players that we know a little bit about who played on Arkansas last year. There's a lot of new players that are transfers. There's a lot of new players that were on the team last year, but are now our starters and everything. So let's go ahead and dive into that. And Corso, have you lead it off on who's going to be the player you challenge today?
I had several options here. Since I'm going first, though, I think I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit. I'm just going to challenge Mike Washington to be the guy that they say you are. Be the guy they say you are, because they, meaning your teammates, meaning the coaches, meaning all the media members who've been out there watching the entire spring, through summer workouts, all the way through fall camp. There's been a lot of hype out there. And, he came in and people were thinking, all right, best case, this might be a platoon type deal with Braylon Russell. It's going to be a 1-2 punch in the backfield. Maybe it is. But for Mike Washington to come in the way he did from New Mexico State, where people weren't that, they weren't pumped up about it. They weren't going crazy about it in terms of him getting added out of the transfer portal. There were some other guys that Arkansas was on that at the time, when you're looking at portal rankings and production, everything, you're like, oh man, I kind of wish they would have got that guy. But he's been allegedly, reportedly incredible from the time he walked on the campus to now. I want to see him go out there and back it up. Now, I'm not saying he has to go out there like Quentin Jackson and have 3 touchdowns in the first game and flirt with the cheerleaders over on the opposite sideline. You don't have to go that crazy, man. But I do want to see him have a moment where all the Razorback fans who've been hearing about this but not able to see it can go, oh, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, this dude looks the part. Breaks a big play, breaks somebody's ankle, stiff arm somebody into the end zone, something. I'm challenging Mike Washington to live up to the hype in a game where, frankly, even if you weren't as good as they say you were, you should anyway.
Well, I'm going to go to the defensive side of the ball for a second here, and I'm going to go to a position group that I think we all agree is the biggest question mark on the team and maybe the biggest determining factor in how good this defense and how good this team can be overall. Guys, you know what you need in college football? If you want to take a step forward as a program, you do need some transfers. Of course, you got to go out and you got to play the portal game, no doubt about it. You probably need to have some freshmen come in and really push, and it seems like Arkansas has that on the up front on the offensive line. But what you really need is players in your program to get better year over year. You're not going to be able to retain everyone. You're not going to be able to keep your entire class together for 4 years, but you need to have a base level of players in your program who stick around, get better, and become the leaders on your team. Guys like a Cam Ball, guys like an Eric Gregory, who was here for 6 years, that are just here through the long haul. I think Quincy Rhodes is a guy that fits all of this criteria. And again, he looks the part at defensive end as a guy that could be a Landon Jackson replacement, a true pass rush specialist, a guy that teams have to account for. I'm going Quincy Rhodes because I feel like he is the guy that if you can guarantee me he's going to be very good, I wouldn't be no longer concerned about the defensive line, but it changes the way we feel. If you feel like that starting group really has a playmaker, an X factor there on the edge, and a senior in Cam Ball in the middle there, some experience on the other edge in Lee and Justice Boone. If I feel good about Quincy Rhodes, I feel a little bit better about the surrounding pieces as well. Quincy Rhodes got 1 sack last year, and that's not a knock. He was a kind of a part-time player and showed some flashes. We were very encouraged with what we saw from Quincy Rhodes during his second year at Arkansas. I want to see him not only double his career sack total, get one more. I want to see him just go ahead and start putting things together. It may not seem like a big deal. I mean, hey, if Quincy Rhodes goes out there and gets 2 sacks today, I don't think the entire country is going to be like, whoa, watch out for this defensive end at Arkansas. But that does a lot for him. A guy that doesn't have a ton of experience making those big plays in games, to go out there and set the tone, get a couple sacks, maybe start to emerge as one of those guys that teams have to circle during their scouting, circle during their film. I'm all for Quincy Rhodes. I want to see him look like a stud today. I want to see him look like a Landon Jackson replacement today.
Well, real quick before we get to mine, I want to throw this by you. Last night, a kid who may have had a few, cocktails comes up to me. He's like, dude, I got the perfect nickname for Quincy Rhodes. It's like, you ever heard of a cheat code? I'm like, yeah. It's like, he's a QR code.
I actually like that a lot.
I was like, all right, man. All right. That was pretty good. So who knows?
Scan them and you can get right to whatever you're trying to buy.
Ooh, who you're trying to stack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's so much better than where my mind was going. You said that and I was like, cheat roads? Okay. No,
yeah,
QR code. That's sick.
Hey, if it happened, you drunk fellow last night, you get credit if it ends up sticking. So, but guys, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go with low hanging fruit, just because I'm going to go with Taylon Green. And the reason being is simply because everything that we have heard from the jump was about year 2 quarterback under Bobby Petrino. Plain and simple. That is a thing that's been hammered so much by us, by other local media, by people at SEC Media Days, all of these things. Year 2 of Petrino, year 2 of Petrino, year 2 of Petrino, which if you look at history, look at the trends, look at the numbers, there's something to it. Okay. Well, on offense, Taylon Green is pretty much the only player back. I mean, you got Braylon Russell at that skill position, and Fernando Carmona and some offensive linemen, but that's it. Taylon Green is throwing to a brand new wide receiving core, pretty much a brand new tight end group. The running backs that he's going to be handed to, like you mentioned, Mike Washington, all these guys are new, but it's about Taylon Green. And this season, and I hate to put it this way so simply, but it hinges on the performance of Taylon Green. If Taylon Green has a great year, that's Arkansas's best chance. But if I told you that Taylon Green's going to have about what he had last year, like the same type of year, they're like, well, that's not going to be a very great season, just being honest. So to me, it's about, okay, year 2, you've had a full offseason, you had spring ball, you've had summer practices, or summer camp, you've had fall camp, you've had all these things. Go out and show. You're the man. This isn't some sort of, you got to figure things out or whatever. You're going up against the worst team you're going to play this year, the worst defense you're going to play this year. It's just, let's be honest. You should dice them. You should make them look stupid. You should go out there and complete no less than 70% of your passes, no picks, make good decisions with the ball, make good decisions on when to run and when not to run, make good decisions on when to throw it away or whatever. Just, you need to look good. And so I do not want to see you out there looking like you did first game against UAPB, which is not saying you look bad, but I just want to see the difference maker of a Taylon Green. I want to see you just take care of business, get done with it, and move on. That's what I want to see from Taylon Green in that challenge. Because again, if he goes out there and just looks, I'm not feeling good. It's like, well, you think it's going to get any easier after this? Like, this is the game. You got your as healthy as a team as you have right now. You got a healthy offensive line, all those things. So to me, Taylon Green is the guy that I'm going to be challenging today.
It's been a long time coming for him, man. I mean, it's, he was hurt. We've heard about it famously now for a good portion of the back half of last year. And there were certain things that he felt like he was capable of doing that he couldn't do because of his physical limitations there. And then, everything you said there, John, is what we've heard so much about the year 2 thing, all the improvements that he's made. Oh, he's healthy. He's put on extra weight. He's reading defenses better. Oh, he's going through his progressions, all that. And even we were hearing, 70-yard touchdown pass here, 50-yard pass here in these scrimmages, you're thinking, okay, that's great. That's awesome. Everything that we're hearing sounds good. Let's see it under the lights when there's a little bit more pressure, when there's the potential there that you could actually get hit by a defender, actually get tackled by somebody. You're playing somebody else where you don't know exactly what they're doing. That's when we're really going to be able to start evaluating the progress that Taylon's made. And, it starts today.
I mean, we do a lot of assuming this time of year. And honestly, any week going into a football matchup, we do a lot of assuming of, hey, this team sucks on the offensive line. This team's got a great pass rush. Could be an issue. This team has a good quarterback. This team has a bad secondary. Could be an issue. And so I think for Taylon Green entering year 2 of this Bobby offense, but entering year 4 as a starting quarterback at the collegiate level, at the Division I level, and facing, like you said, the worst defense he's going to face all year, that should be a time where we can reasonably assume this thing's going to be firing on all cylinders. And to your point, John, I know they scored on every possession last year. It took a solid quarter for Taylon to kind of settle in. He missed that opening pass to start the game to Tyrone Broden. Had a few miscues. It took him a while to settle down in both that opening game against UAPB and, if y'all remember, that UAB game early in non-conference last year. Yeah. Really struggled in the first half of that game. I don't want to see that version of Taylon Green. Not that that's an issue. Not that there's going to be games where it takes him a few plays to settle in. I want you to look like a senior in year 2 of this offense that's got full, complete control. I'll even give you a weird example. Arkansas lost to Toledo in week 2 of 2015, but in week 1, Brandon Allen, when they played UTEP, not even an FCS team, just a lower level team, Brandon Allen looked like Dan Marino out there, like just had full, complete command, was dicing it around. And of course, we saw him struggle in other situations, but I want to see a senior quarterback look like a senior quarterback, directing traffic, lining guys up, barking out orders, complete control. 3rd and 6, you don't even have to question. You know what they're throwing at you. You know where you're going with the ball. I want to see him very decisive. I want to see him look like a veteran out there, which he is.
Yep.
Can I throw one honorable mention challenge out there? Yep. Because normally I like to get in the weeds a little bit more with these, but we had to do the Mike Wash thing. You just have to after fall camp. I also want to throw out a challenge to Ian Gifford. Make me notice you in this game. I want to notice you more than one occasion in this game. I want to be like, damn, there's Ian Gifford in there. Muck it up in there, dude. Be unblockable. You're 400 pounds. You're the guy who everyone has just assumed is going to be, the starter. And, oh yeah, he's SEC, starter ready. And he's going to be able to do this and do that. We just haven't heard much about him throughout all of fall camp. It's kind of what we've been talking about. And yeah, he got the starting spot there, but are we not hearing about him because he's just solid and he's steady and you kind of know what you're going to get and you got that reliability and that comfort factor there? Or is it because he hasn't really been doing anything? And it's a little bit hard to say. And Arkansas's success, a lot of it's going to be predicated this year on that defensive line. And Andrew, you talked about Quincy Rhodes and we talked about the pass rush and everything, but we know how dangerously thin they are at defensive tackle. You feel great about Cam Ball, but then behind them, there are 2 guys who have to be not just serviceable for you. They got to be really, really good. And that's particularly Ian Gifford. If he's going to be your other starter there, I need to see him do something in this game.
It may have sounded like Curtis was fat shaming when he said he was 400 pounds. He's 387 pounds. He was listed at 388 last year. He went through the entire offseason program. He's now 387. So,
and he can do backflips. So
he can still do the backflips though.
Yeah. No, he's one that I think is also a great honorable mention. I mean, there's a lot of those players that you could challenge at this first game, but we'll have some more bold predictions that we're going to have as well as some other things too. But I want to remind everybody that this morning is the official grand opening of Goat Lab Red in Fayetteville, and they're having a huge grand opening tailgate happening starting at 10 a.m. this morning. So pretty much as soon as we get off here, it's going to be happening over there at the Oak Plaza on North Garland starting at 10 a.m. And they're going to be hanging out there all day long, maybe way into the night to see where the night takes them. But either way, it's an awesome spot with the Goat Lab Red place because they have brews that they're going to be able to show off like Razorback, Tusk Light, the official beers of the Razorbacks. And you can see them because they're going to have all those tents in the area. They're going to be taking over the whole parking lot at this point in time. But they got the best craft beer around. They also have signature burgers that you can come and check out. And then, if you party too hard today, tomorrow morning, you need to go back over to Goat Lab Red because they have a great deal where you get all you can eat pancakes as well as 2 Goat Lab brews or 2 mimosas for just $16. You find me a better deal to cure a hangover than with Goat Lab Red. So check them out today and see you there at the tailgate this morning at Goat Lab Red, your new game day tradition. Okay, so we got our challenges to our players. So let's go ahead and go into our bowl predictions here for the Razorbacks today. And Andrew, I'll have you start. We'll just keep going. I don't know if it's clockwise, whatever the thing is, but I'll go after that. But Andrew, you kick us off with what your bowl prediction is for today.
Yeah, I don't think clockwise works when we're going in a straight line. But I am going to kind of counteract Curtis's challenge because my bold prediction is about a young man from Benton, an in-state hog. I have Braylon Russell outgaining Mike Washington via rushing yards. We'll go just rushing yards because I think there's a chance that 1 or 2 of those guys catch some passes. But I have Braylon Russell showing out this game. Now, I think both of these guys are going to get plenty of carries. Like, I expect Mike Washington, we no doubt about it, is going to be the starter, going to get those first looks. But what happened when they last scrimmaged? Mike Washington broke off a few long runs, and they said, "Hey, let's put this pony back in the stable. Let's put the Ferrari back in the garage for a second." I think there's a chance that happens in this game. I also think Braylon Russell's a guy that they want to keep confident. They want to keep him feeling like you kind of have to keep the carrot dangling in front of him, keep him locked in so he doesn't transfer on you. I think you got to give Braylon Russell 10, 15 carries in this game, and I'm excited to see how he looks. I think both of those guys, I feel pretty confident about the running back situation. I don't think anyone should go into this game and have a sweeping declaration of, Mike Washington had this, so he's this good, and Braylon Russell had this, so he's that good. But I do think today's going to be a day where, you're right, Curtis, we're going to have that moment where we look at Mike Washington and we're like, okay, that's what everybody's been talking about. But I also think this is going to be a day where we're like, hey, Braylon Russell ain't go nowhere. Like, he's still going to be a very big factor in this offense and in this run game. So I have Braylon Russell outgaining Mike Washington, which at this point does feel like a bold prediction.
Well, I'm going to go with, I think maybe talked about this a little bit. This is really out there, though. But my bold prediction is Keyshawn Blackstock's going to get a sack. That's what I'm going with, man. I think it's just for the sake of people and seeing what Blackstock, with the move over to defensive line and out of necessity, out of desperation, whatever you want to call it, they didn't move him over there because they're like, man, you're just too good of a D lineman prospect to not move over there. They moved him over there because they didn't have bodies and they needed somebody. Like, let's just be honest. So that being the case, I think it would be really great if you could see something, whether it's a sack or a tackle for loss or whatever, but I'm going with the sack from him today, because if he's going to do it, odds are it's going to happen today. And that would also just kind of trigger a little bit of like, hey, maybe this might work out. Maybe this might be a guy that could, mix it up a little bit. Whenever someone needs a breather, he just rolls in and ends up making some plays and whatnot. So I think that's what happens today. I think he gets up and goes crazy and celebrates, which he should, because it's like, hey, man, I was over here blocking people 2 weeks ago, and now I'm over here tackling the quarterback that I was supposed to protect. Like that stuff. It would just be such a cool element. And I think because of Arkansas and hopefully the fact that they're blowing out Alabama A&M, you're going to see a lot of players get a lot of opportunities. Keyshawn Blackstock's going to get his opportunities. But I believe today, my bold prediction is that Keyshawn Blackstock gets at least 1 sack on the day for the Razorbacks.
I like that. I respect it. That's prime bold prediction type of stuff there. And Andrew, you're 100% right that it is a bold prediction that Braylon Russell will outrush Mike Washington in this game. My plan coming into this was to hedge myself and do exactly that. There's my show. There's my notes right there. That's what I had.
Okay, fair enough.
So
when I saw that pop up in the studio, I was like, "Oh, this is Curtis letting us know that he did actually have that prepared."
I was so ready for it. I was like, there's no way I'm wrong. One way or the other, I've done pretty well here. But if you saw the other things there, I had a couple others, and I got one individual and one team that I'll go with. I think Cam Shanks is going to crib one today. And I don't even know if it's that bold of a prediction. I just think that he is. You're a first team All-American punt returner coming in here. You had a lot of success at UAB last year. Arkansas's, we heard Scott Fountain say that he hopes that this is a year where they can really, really have that as a weapon, in the return game. And I just have a feeling that Alabama A&M might not be where they want to be in terms of punt placement, in terms of hang time and everything like that. They're going to kick that man a line drive, and he's going to have some room to work, and he's going to take one to the house. That's what I think. And then my other one, I think Arkansas is going to trail in this football game, but I think they're going to cover easily.
Yeah.
3-0 out of the gate, just something like that. You know how it is. We're like, oh, come on, man. And then it's 28-3 by the end of the first quarter or something. It's kind of where I'm at with it.
Snap goes over Taylor's head, get a safety to start the year.
Stop.
I can't think of anything better. No better way to start.
The collective groan by the stands will be had if that's the case.
By the way, John, do you have the updated spread, the game spread on Saracen? Because I know it's been all over the place. Like, it started, this opened in the summer when this line first became available. It was at like 37, 38.5.
Guys, I mentioned it at the top. It's already moved from when I mentioned it. Right now, it was 46.5 when I mentioned it at the top. Right now, it's 47. It just moved a half point. So it's been skyrocketing up there right now, according to BetSaracen. So it's just so funny because it's like Arkansas's favored by 4. It's minus 47, but the over under 62.5. So if you kind of do the math on there, yeah, kind of shows you where it's at. But before we get into more though, shout out to our guy, Bree Walter. Appreciate the super chat, my man.
Hey.
From Walter Christmas Lights. Said, hell yeah, boys. Goodness, that was a long sports drought. Green is going to become legendary this season. Woo pig, baby. I like the vibes there, man. I like that. It's great. It's great. You need the positivity there. And I hope you're right, B. Walter. I hope that ends up happening because, again, like we talked about, if Taylor Green has a great year this year, does that mean Arkansas is going to go undefeated? No. But and he doesn't even have to be certain numbers. If you just say, hey, Taylor Green's going to have a great season this season, I think everyone's going to be like, okay, well, that's a bowl game. That's 6-6 if he has a great year. So I think that's what everybody wants to do and everything like that. So either way, we're going to have a lot more to talk about here too. But I'll tell you what, how about that? How about this for a great transition? Let's tell you about our friends over at Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas, because a lot of you know that Halloween, I don't think there's August 31st. So it's just August 30th, but it's about 2 months away. Halloween is close to 2 months away. And if you're trying to get your house looking good, looking really fresh for the Halloween season with all the lights, give our guys at Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas a call. If you're in the Northwest Arkansas River Valley area, they're going to set you up professionally with all the lights, where they're going to provide all the materials. You get any color, any pattern, and they install them themselves. And the greatest thing about it is that, say if a strand goes out or some other light goes out and you're like, hey, that looks bad. Well, don't you worry, because during the holiday season, you give them a call, they're going to give you free maintenance. They're going to come out there and they're going to take care of business. They're going to do their own takedowns in January. And if you sign up for the Halloween lights, you'll also get, folks, the Christmas lights at 50% off. It's that simple. So give our guy Brett a text for a free estimate at 479-459-1380. That's 479-459-1380. You can also check out their website at walterchristmaslighting.com or like them on Facebook by scanning the QR code on your screen right there. It's Walter Christmas Lighting of Arkansas, your local holiday lighting experts. Sorry, I almost said the complete wrong thing there and had to make sure. Sorry about that.
Easy.
Yeah, I know. I was like, we don't need to start off with that if that's the case. So, but either way, okay. So we gave our challenges to our players. We got our bowl predictions in there now. So let's get into some other fun things too, and we'll kind of end with some prop plays from BetSaracen here on the show. But the fun things, like, all right, first play of the game. We'll start right there. First play of the game, and I'll kick this one off. But first play of the game is always fun. Last year, we remember it was kind of I don't know, I can't remember, was it a play action or just a deep pass? I don't remember which exactly it was.
There may have been a play fake in there.
I feel like it was a play fake. And this may be boring, but it's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, for me, the first play is going to be a play fake deep ball, because I know Bobby Petrino, he loves that stuff, man. He loves, if he could see something about a defense, he's going to exploit it early. And I don't know if Bobby's been spending the entire offseason planning for that first play of the Alabama A&M game. But yeah, I can tell you that he's somebody that is very meticulous about this. And I feel it would be so beneficial if, after last year, like you mentioned, Andrew, like Taylor just missed him, just did not, that first play, didn't look good. It would kind of be like the settling thing where maybe, what was it, our simulation, like first play of the game, does we'll play action, throws a bomb. I was like, okay, very nice. So I think that happens. And guys, I'm going to take it one step further. And actually, no, I got to save it. It's going to be a bomb. It's going to be a pass, and they're going to throw it up to Raylan Sharp. I think it's going to be a play action pass, deep ball to Raylan Sharp. That's my first play of the game.
Interesting. When you say, I know Bobby, and you're right. You're 100% right. And so I'm taking this a little bit of a different way here because I've listened to Bobby Petrino, and I've listened to him talk about Mike Washington, and I've listened to him compare him to Niall Davis, and I've listened to everybody talk about how much improved this offensive line is. I'm keeping it simple. I'm not overthinking this. They're going to turn. They're going to hand that football to Mike Washington. He's going to run it right up the left side for 8 yards. Plain, simple, right there. First play, boom.
So that's pretty much how I see it, Curtis. But I see them converting. I think it's going to be a 12-yard gain that gets past. And we right off the bat, that's an Arkansas Razorback. Right off the bat, we're getting that first down. And then they're just going to go right into it. I think they might rattle off 4 or 5 runs for 40, 50 yards to start the game. And then I think they'll finish the drive with a touchdown pass to Omega Blake. Keep it simple. Go to your top guy in the red zone.
Okay. Well, I guess I was going to answer our next question.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, which is funny, Andrew, that you said that because, we're going to do who scores the first touchdown for Arkansas. That's yours. And I wasn't trying to give it away, but to me, the first play of the game ends up being a touchdown to Raylan Sharp.
Okay.
And so I think it's going to be a deep pass. And it's going to be one of those where the offensive line protects really well. Talon just stands back there and he looks and sees Raylan, and he doesn't look at anyone else because he doesn't have to. He's sitting there waiting, throws it up there, hits him right in the bread basket, 75-yard scamper to the end zone to kick things off for the Razorbacks, offensively at least, because I'm assuming Arkansas will get the ball, or when they get the ball first offensively. That'll be the play. And he just runs all the way in. Place goes nuts. They're like, yeah. And suddenly people are tweeting about Talon Green, year 2 under Bobby after play 1. The overreactions are going to be crazy. Be like, dude, actually Heisman, we could see it right now with that pass. I mean, if he throws more passes like that, it might be pretty good this season. Yeah, no kidding. But the overreaction is going to be great. But I think that's also going to be my first touchdown for the Razorbacks is going to be the first offensive play for the Razorbacks. 75-yard play action bomb to Raylan Sharp.
I like it. I like that a lot. I'm going to go with the Talon Green rushing touchdown. Little improv action, no big deal. Probably going to be the first time that he's under any duress at all. Anytime he just feels like, okay, I might need to use my legs, because I don't think he's going to have to much in this game, honestly. But he's going to get the edge. You know how it is. Anytime Talon Green's running to the outside and you're just watching defenses and you think, oh yeah, maybe he'll pick up a couple there and just run out of bounds. And then he just kicks it into that extra gear. And next thing you know, he's out in the open field. It's going to be one of those, I think. I see him completing a few passes down the field. I don't think it's going to be a goal line type of situation there, because then I think they'll just hand it to one of their big backs. But maybe from first play inside the red zone or something from the 17, and he just gets the corner and scoots right in for a touchdown.
Quick question for you guys, and I guess we'll find out when Curtis's prediction comes true. Will Talon be running back the celebration that he had, the woo pig, do the little arm thing? Is he going to run back that celebration, or is he going to have a whole new one?
I think he runs it back.
I think he should. It's a solid.
It's good. It's hard to beat.
Yeah. And also that's the celebration. I know you want it to be about you and what you want and all that, but come on. I mean, the Razorback fans, what's a better celebration to them than you calling the Hogs in celebration? That's the best way to relate to them and get them on your side. And then when you throw that interception, they may not get mad at you as much as they normally would if your celebration is calling the Hogs. So, but I'm also, guys, I know that we all want certain things in this game. It doesn't mean it's going to happen that way, but man, I just really hope Talon does not run the ball very much today. And if you do, out of bounds or slide, just do not I don't want to see Talon Green get touched today. I do not want to see him get any of that paint that is going to wear off at Razorback Stadium so quickly. I do not want to see any of that on his jersey because I don't feel like he should get touched. But hopefully he doesn't take on any contact or anything like that. I do not want to see it.
They shouldn't even have to. They should just be able to throw his uniform in the washing machine.
Yep.
No scrubbing. You have to spray any shout on it to get the grass stains out. Just throw it right in there and he's good to go.
No ice bath.
No ice bath. Yeah, no ice bath for sure.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, I don't even want to see it washed. To be like, man, this is so clean. You
No
can wear
shower.
it.
No shower for Taylor Green after the day. You could just go right to Dixon, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
You showered at halftime, actually, and then you're just chilling, ready to go out in your street clothes at halftime. So
yeah, that'll be great. Okay, so how about this, guys? Since we talked about the first play for offense and everything like that, I'm just going to try to spring this on you guys, and I'll go first for it since I'm doing this. But on the defensive side of the ball, I'm curious. I'm going to tell you that Arkansas is going to get one turnover today, and what I'm counting as a turnover is a pick, a fumble, a stop on fourth down. Not going to happen. Muffed punt, something like that. But if I said Arkansas is going to have one turnover today, how's it going to happen? Who's it going to be? And the way it's going to go, I'll start it. I think Arkansas in their one turnover today, what they do is they end up getting a muffed punt. I think that it's the one time Devin Bell has to come out and everyone's like, you're just stupid. Why are we punting? We should never punt against this team. They should have scored all this. And he's going to just boot one. And it's going to be high rising. And that poor little punt returner is going to be so excited because he's like, I get to get the ball, man. I'm on the SEC Network Plus or whatever. And I get to take this ball and I get to catch it. And I'm going to show everybody. It's like, I can't wait. His first game. And he's going to sit there and he's going to, okay, they're 15 yards. Okay, I got this. Boom. He's going to catch it, or at least he thinks. And it's just going to just squirt out like right between his legs. And he's going, oh, crap. And then Arkansas is going to be able to recover. I wish I could say who the gunners are for Arkansas, but I don't know. I don't know who the gunners are going to be for him on that.
Not Road anymore.
Yeah, it ain't him. Yeah, I don't know who it will be, but whoever it is, he ends up muffing the punt. Arkansas recovers within their own 20, 25 yard line, and they end up taking care of business. But I feel like if Arkansas is going to have one turnover today or cause one turnover today, that's going to be it.
I like that. I'm going to go a blind side hit on their quarterback, just a free rusher, knocks the ball loose, and we get a scoop and score for the Razorbacks.
By Blackstock?
Not by Blackstock.
Does the same person that did the forcing of the fumble, is he going to be the guy that recovers it and scores?
No, unfortunately, he'll get the assist, Let's try to be specific with it here. I'll go Phillip Lee making the hit, and then we'll go, let's just go Cam Ball. They got him backed up a little bit. He doesn't have to run too far, but he scoops that sucker up and takes it about 13 yards into the end zone. Yeah.
I like that a lot, man. If Cam Ball scores a touchdown, that place is going to come unglued, man. That's going to be awesome. By the way, I don't want to forget, I meant to mention this later in the show. I had it written down. Cam Ball and CJ Brown, shout out to both of them who lost their fathers during the offseason. Yeah. CJ Brown lost his father a couple weeks ago. They will both be wearing jerseys today that commemorate and honor their late fathers, and that's awesome. So Cam Ball, by the way, to add to that, if he scored a touchdown today, Curtis, with his father's name on the back of his jersey, I mean, I think I might shed tears, literally.
Mm-hmm. That would be stuff that I don't know if they still wish they still did it, but Tom Rinaldi the next week, and doing I don't know what he is. I think he's on Fox now, but they'd probably be like, the Tom Rinaldi voice. All he wanted in life was a shot. Just really, really, really get the onions cutting on that stuff. That would be really cool. That'd be really cool. But shout out, I did want to say real quick, shout out, because listen, my special teams prediction starts with the deep snap. And I just can only assume this super chat from Chris No in some way, shape, or form is related to our guy Ashton, who's going to be the deep snapper, of course, for Arkansas. And he says, can we get a shout out for the best special teams unit in the country? There's your shout out. You guys are going to get the turnover today. And
I think there's a decent chance Ashton recovers that muffed punt.
There is.
Because you want to talk about gunners. He's obviously the long snapper. You can't call him a gunner, but he is always down there. He's one of the first guys that are right there. He's going to make some tackles this year. I can see him recovering the fumble.
We predicted a punt return touchdown. Yeah, we're on it. We're dialed with the special teams. People think it's funny when it's oh, this is a third of the game. It's 1/3 of the operation here. It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but is it okay? Let's talk about this for a second. Is it 1/3 of the game?
Yes.
I mean,
it absolutely is.
There's 12 special teams plays to 185 of the other plays. But you're right. The Ashton Noe is basically the most impactful player on this roster. But I really do think this. By the way, we didn't say anything for Scott Starzik because I hope that he's not going to have to line up from 4 different spots and kick 4 field goals. But I am excited to see Scott Starzik since we're talking special teams. Not excited to see Devin Bale.
I think about it the way I think about recruiting a little bit. It's like Arkansas is a smaller state, but what's their talent per capita, compared to the other state? What's the consequence of special teams plays per capita compared to the rest of the plays in the game? There's a lot more for offense and defense, but more special teams plays are directly impacting scoring. You get every time you line up for an extra point, there's 1 point on the line. Field goal, there's 3 on the line. So that's where it bounces out for me. I'm going to give them credit where it's due. And because Chris is watching.
it is a game of field position as well, which hopefully field position is not a massive factor in today's game. I don't think it will be, but if it is, Arkansas is going to be in good shape because Devin Bale really is one of the best punters in the country. I am excited to watch him, but I hope I don't get to see him today.
Yeah, and that's the thing is with Scott Starzik, I think I mentioned it yesterday. If Arkansas is beating him so badly, I kind of hope that if it's a third down play, they're like, hey, let's just get some reps in for old Scott Starzik.
A little 40-yard field goal on 3rd and 4.
Yeah. Might be the first. Actually, I guess I couldn't say that because I'm sure that there's been like at the end of games it being 3rd down for a field goal. But as far as not into games having a 3rd down like that, that's what I'm going to feel like. So yeah, we want to see a little bit of it, not too much, but a little bit of it too. But here's things like with the special teams, you want to see the entire game be crisp. You want to see that, but I feel like there's been times where the special teams, and it's simple stuff, getting on the punts, line up correctly, like just do things like that. Do the small things. Don't cause yourselves any more issues. Don't cause any more problems. Take care of business for it.
Don't have 2 players with the same jersey on for punt team because we have seen that happen in a season opener for the Arkansas Razorbacks multiple times in the same game, actually.
Yes, I forgot about that, but yes, that is 100% true. We'll get some prop plays as well as a few of your chats, folks, as we are here on the Inside Arkansas Football pregame show presented by our friends over at BetSaracen. But want to remind everybody that we're also presented by our friends over at OZK Insurance. Listen, let's talk about this. Nobody wants to deal with the hassle of shopping around, especially when it comes to insurance. That's why we recommend our friends over at OZK Insurance because they're based right here in Arkansas. They're all Razorbacks, all Arkansans, and they shop multiple carriers to find the best coverage and price for you. And it doesn't matter whether it's home or auto or business, anything, you name it, they got it. They're going to help you out with it. And it doesn't matter if it's Saturdays at Razorback Stadium or every day in life. Every time you go out, you want to make sure that you have protection you can count on. Well, we can guarantee you that you can count on OZK Insurance. And you're going to get you a free online quote today by checking out ozkinsurance.com. That's ozkinsurance.com. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen, or you can call them at 479-715-4200. That's 479-715-4200. It's OZK Insurance, protection made simple. All right. So again, we're talking about everything happening for Arkansas and Alabama A&M today, Alabama A&M, and making sure everyone also understands we're new post-game show too. That's all. We're not just doing pregame and then calling it a day. No, post-game is going to happen as well. And of course, Curtis and Andrew, they do a great job with the report card and the accountability sessions and all the accountability that we're going to have here as well. So lots of Razorback football content going to be happening this weekend. And also, I wanted to use this opportunity to remind everybody on Monday, no Inside Arkansas Live. Sometimes we need a holiday too. It's Labor Day weekend, so we're not doing any Inside Arkansas Live, but that doesn't mean we're mailed it in. We're still going to have all this great content that's happening each and every day here on Inside Arkansas. So, all right. So looking at it, guys, with BetSaracen, as we mentioned, 47 points is where it's at right now. Arkansas favorite, 62.5. But we always love the specials, right? The double R prop plays for Arkansas and Alabama A&M, as well as some other cool stuff because they still have some season things that we can dive into and everything. But we'll start with the prop plays. Andrew, I'll have you kick this one off. You got a chance to look at it, but which double R prop are you looking at and saying, I like this one for the Hogs today?
So frankly, a lot of them, and I will point out that if they have some game props of like, hey, Arkansas to score however many points in each quarter, some specific team ones. They do have a lot of the player ones, which are all first half only. And the reason they do that is because last year you had a sped up clock, which changes everything, which basically voided all the bets. And so doing it first half, I think is probably the way to go. Plus, we know the starters will play in the first half. There's a lot that I like. I'm going to stick to one so you guys can make your picks. I don't steal all your things. That's my favorite move, I'm going to go with a simple one. Arkansas offense over 149.5 passing yards, over 99.5 rushing yards. Now, that is first half only. So 250 yards of offense, 150 passing, 100 rushing. My math's right there. Arkansas did this extremely easily last year against UAPB. They had about 240 passing and then like 180 rushing. I don't think it's going to be that easy, but I do think you should have 250 yards of offense and at least over 300 by the first half. And I think passing is going to be easier than rushing, actually, because I think they are going to air it out with Taylor Green early, knowing that they can't do it late when the game's 52-0. And so I think they'll get the 150 easily, and then one big Mike Washington run should get you close on the rushing. I like that. That is at plus 160, 150 passing, 100 rushing.
It's a good one. That's a good one. Again, hopefully I didn't steal yours, Curtis, but I saw the biggest odds of this special, and I'm taking it at plus 1,300. Plus 1,300 for this one. The Arkansas offense, defense, and special teams all to score over a half point today in the first half. This is only first half. But Curtis, you talked about scoop and score. Well, I feel like you're gonna have a field goal. Scott Starzy's gonna hit a field goal. There you go. And then of course Arkansas's offense. I don't think it's the most ridiculous thing ever. And at plus 1,300, especially in the first half, because you're gonna have your starters in, you're gonna have all that. I'm about it. So to me, I'm taking the plus 1,300 prop play for the Razorbacks today.
Also, I think one extra point would get that on special teams, right? Because I see James here. He's like, you got to score touchdowns, no field goals. I think my understanding of the bet is just one special teams point would be an extra point, right?
That's right. Points, not touchdowns, nothing.
You really just need a defensive touchdown. That's it.
Yeah, because I'll read it verbatim for everybody just in case there's any confusion. Arkansas offense, defense, and special teams all to score over 0.5 points. First half only. So, yeah, to me, that's a field goal, boys. And I think Arkansas is going to get one. So give me that one plus 1,300.
They worded it the way they worded it. I like that.
Right.
I like that a lot. Something I've already put my money where my mouth is, and this is kind of similar to what you had, Andrew, but Arkansas offense over 249.5 first half yards and opponent under 199.5. And for all the reasons Andrew laid out, Arkansas should have over 250 yards of offense in the first half against this team. And they certainly shouldn't be giving up 200 in the first half. If Arkansas gives up 200 yards in the first half to Alabama A&M, I got some questions that I'm going to have to be asking about this one. That's at plus 115. I almost feel like that's kind of giving away money there, to be honest with you. I also like the Taylor Green over 129.5 passing yards and over 12.5 rushing yards. That's one attempt in the first half, plus 125. That's an easy bet.
Yeah,
I like that. A couple other player ones that I thought were interesting. You mentioned Taylor, and you had the yardage one, right? The Taylor yardage, is that the one you listed off? He also has 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown in the first half, plus 155. I like that a lot. I mean, 2 passing, 1 rushing. I think he should be able to do that in the first quarter. I mentioned Omega Blake. I think is going to catch the first touchdown. Omega Blake over 0.5 receiving touchdowns and over 12.5 yards per reception. As you guys know, Omega Blake, as we've said 1,000 times, led the country in yards per reception last year at over 23. So I think over 12.5, you just catch 1 17-yard touchdown and then go sit on a bag of ice. I'm cool with that. I also like this one, the big plays. Arkansas rushing over 4.5 big plays, which is 10+ yards, plus 130. And you could do the passing one, 6.5 of those plays at plus 150. I think the rushing one is 5 rushes of 10+ yards in the first half. Do it. And again, all these are first half. I guess my final one is Arkansas defense over 2.5 sacks. First half, plus 250.
Saw that.
Sacks, plus 250. Now, it's obviously a little bit fatter odds, but I think, if they, not saying they have to get 3 in the first half, but it's like, I think that would be a good way to calm everyone down a little bit and make us some money.
That's right. I also like, there's some game props. At plus 900, any Arkansas player to record 4+ touchdowns. So 4 touchdowns or more at plus 900. Like Taylon Green could have that. I mean,
Well,
I feel
he
like
had to run them in. I'm assuming those are scoring them actually.
Yes, exactly. But well, actually, I mean, any player to record 4+ touchdowns, it would be passing and running, right? So
I doubt it. Usually when it's betting on like anytime touchdown or like touchdown props, it's usually scoring them.
okay,
I could be wrong, so I don't know. Maybe you can clarify with somebody, but
okay,
I would guess that means like actually scoring the touchdowns.
okay. Well, if that's the case, then never mind. But it's like if it is passing in, running or whatever, then I would do that one for plus 900. So
Hey, Thunderhog, which prop did they change? I see he said they changed the prop from plus 130 to minus 110. I don't know if he's talking about one that we just talked about or not, but
because there's quite a bit of them that are at minus 110.
Let us know if you
can. Yeah, be on the lookout for that one. Let's see. Also, because again, there's a few of them for the season. So if you're feeling crazy, folks, like 10, if you think Arkansas is going to win 10 regular season games, you get it plus 4,000 for that one. If you're feeling really crazy. Also, if you feel like Arkansas is going to win every road game, this is funny. Arkansas to win 10 games is at plus 4,000. Arkansas to win every road game this season is plus 15,000. So kind of shows you where it's at and how they feel about it. But yeah, they got some other great ones too. Like if you think Arkansas is going to beat, say, Texas A&M, Auburn, Mississippi State, like those 3 games in a row at home, like that's plus 800. Like they have so many different ones that you can like jump into and have some fun with. And also like Arkansas to make the college football playoff plus 2,000. I feel like that's a little low.
Yeah, it is a little low.
Hey, here's the thing: is you double up on all this because let's be honest, if Arkansas is going to go to the playoff, they're going to win 10 regular season games. So you just hit that one, you hit that one, and yeah, you can make that work. And
also,
go ahead.
For anyone who hasn't done it already, if you are the betting type, and you're over there on BetSaracen, opt in to that 50% profit boost for those Arkansas games today.
Yeah.
You just go to the promo page there on the app and go there and opt in, and you place, whatever bet there, and you get 50% boost on your winnings there. So I think I wound up I think I got it at 44, minus 44. And I think it was minus 150 at the time. And I wound up pretty much getting it like plus 100. So it's a nice little deal there.
Like that.
Yeah. And listen, we're all about the boost and winning as much money as possible. So, but also speaking of folks, with BetSaracen, we're going to have here soon, it's getting worked on right now, but we're going to have a code that a lot of you can use. All of our loyal listeners here, our code to be able to get some great deals and some great specials that you use exclusively with Inside Arkansas. And part of it is that all you new users that will sign up with that code, we're going to send you something free when you do. So it's going to be really cool. So be sure to be on the lookout on that one. But either way, before we get into the chat, guys, because I know we just have a few minutes left, just real quick, I wanted to say this. We know it's going to be happening, and it's happening just currently right now. But man, Lee Corso goes away from College Game Day, just never going to be the same. And I was so happy to see. I think I don't know who I retweeted it, but I'm so happy to see that. As Reese Davis said it, they are retiring the headgear. It's not going to be something like, oh, somebody else come. Which it's. I'm not saying that it was up in the air, but it's just nice. Okay, because that's what it needs to happen. The headgear and Lee Corso. That's it. I don't want to see Pat McAfee or somebody up there trying to do it. No, that it needs to go. That is, it's symbolic. It's everything. And I'm just telling you right from my perspective, growing up, Lee Corso is as integral of college football as anybody, and he's had a great run. And it's not going to be the same without him. But man, he's getting his flowers and well deserved. And we're going to miss him. Going to miss him being on College Game Day. But dude, just again, my love and passion for college football, the Razorbacks and all that comes from just growing up with it. But watching Lee Corso every Saturday morning during the season is as important as anything. So just a heck of a job, my man. We're going to be missing Lee Corso in college football.
Yeah, man. End of an era. There's never going to be another one like him. And I'm with you 100%, man. Glad they're retiring that thing. We don't need to see anybody else try to do it. It'll come across as unauthentic. And it's like when the game show hosts change. Yeah. Like I'm not as big of a fan of Drew Carey, no disrespect, right. But I like that they're doing this, and I'm looking forward to the tribute and everything the man's an absolute legend. And I think they've done a really, really good job of promoting this. And I think they're sending him off the right way. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, it's weird because the Lee Corso thing, for a while now, the writing has been on the wall of like, hey, they probably, he's getting up there in age and, he was struggling to talk at times. And so I had a big worry that it was going to like drag on too long, or that like something bad was going to happen on air, or just that this final chapter wasn't going to be a good one, honestly. And they've done a great job of making it not that. They're doing this great tour. I think this whole football season is going to kind of be like a kind of a going away victory lap for Lee Corso. And I'm with you guys. Like, I don't like Pat McAfee as much as some people. I also don't hate Pat McAfee as much as some people. I would have been livid if they started doing the Pat McAfee's going to be drunk up there and he's going to put on the elephant. Like, that would not have been cool to me. I think College Game Day will find a new, way. Like the show will go on. I think they will find different ways to make it unique. I think it's still going to be a good product. But you're right. It's just a little bit different. And I think Lee Corso is just a guy that is going to be etched in history forever. Change the game, man. I think he's as big of a, like, if you were going to point to people who are responsible for college football being as big as it is, I mean, because it's pretty much the biggest non-professional sport. And I don't even think it's that close. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, on the planet, I think it's a big deal. And I think he is as responsible for that as probably any one player, coach, anything. And of course, he was all three.
Yeah. And the final thing I'll say is, like, hey, for you Razorback fans, you only got College Game Day once, but I remember going to that College Game Day in 2006 against Tennessee that morning. And it's like the stuff leading up to it and during the show was awesome. That was back when it was just like the three of them, way back when it was just Kirkpatrick, right? Am I messing that up? Chris Fowler.
Chris Fowler, yes.
All over the place. Chris Fowler. And then Lee Corso. Yeah, not him. And then Kirk Herbstreit. But none of that mattered because all I wanted to see is what hat he put on. Who did he put on? And he put on the Razorbacks. Woo Pig Siggy, I think is what he ended up saying, but it doesn't matter because he put on the Tuskhead. So that's awesome. But yeah, shout out to him. All right, so a few chats here, folks. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. And again, we'll be doing the Inside Arkansas Football postgame show following Arkansas today. A few of them in here. Let's see. Easton saying, let's go. Can't wait for teenagers to decide my moon for the rest of the year. Yeah,
well, they should put you in a good mood today, my friend.
Yeah. Let's hope so. Walmart McKenna says, we're safe today, gents. Ran 2 miles in the hog head. Got several honks. Good vibes.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. Can you see out of it? Or is he talking about like the hat, hog head hat? Hopefully.
I hope it's the full headgear, but either way, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I'll take that. Let's see. Also, Alabama A&M wins 21-17 from Jeshua. Okay.
Whoa.
What the hell, man? Come on.
Yeah. Also, a hogball burner just says a kid just won $250,000 on the kick on game day. How about that?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
1 for 1 to start the year. How about that?
Yeah. And I'll say that's one of the cool, like, newer additions to game day that's I've really liked is seeing all that happen. That's a cool thing. Let's see a few more. In fact, Hogball Burner says, who needs game day when you got Inside Arkansas? I agree. Now that Lee Corso is doing, you guys never need to tune in.
Especially after today.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I was like, do we feel bad about the fact that we're just competing with Lee on his final showing?
Well, luckily for people, they got like phones and multiple TVs these days. So it's all the same. It's all the same. See, Dylan's just over here saying Green throws for 400 yards and rush for 150. Okay, sure.
If this happens, that means something really bad happened for the Arkansas Razorbacks, because that means they're in a shootout for the ages.
Yes.
With Alabama A&M, and it's like 52-44.
Yeah.
I do not want to see Talon with that many yardage.
If he played 4 full quarters today, he would do something ridiculous.
Yeah, he could definitely do it.
It would also be ridiculous. You're right. Yeah. The game itself. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Colton says, "Gay guys, one question: over 26 penalties on special teams for the season. Under." Well,
I'm going to go under. I thought about this for a second. This is just a fascinating and hilarious question to ask on a pregame show. 12 games. I don't think they're going to commit more than 2 special teams penalties per game. They will have games where they commit 2 or 3, but I don't think you can average 2.5 special teams penalties.
I'll hope not. If so, that's
Scott found with a good time.
Yeah. That's gonna be rough if that ends up being the case. So, well, guys, any final thoughts before we close up our very first of many Inside Arkansas Football pregame shows presented by BetSaracen?
A lot of fun. Really enjoyed this. It's a good time. I like getting up and doing it on game days here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. It's the first time we've done it, and A bunch of people were in here. That's awesome. I'm really excited that football season is here. I'm looking forward to the game today. And make sure you tap right back in with us as soon as it wraps up the postgame show.
Yeah, man, this was a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody who, Saturday morning, you guys could be doing anything. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and experiencing this with us. And don't forget, we're going to be experiencing this after the game, after this electric shootout that's going to happen with Arkansas and Alabama A&M. And we appreciate you guys always being here to live through it. That's really what we want to do here is just kind of experience this all together. And so this is our first time doing the pregame show. I feel like it was a success. Excited for the postgame show. And we'll see you at the stadium. Say what's up if you see us.
That's right. It's going to be awesome. Again, yeah, folks, all the post-game coverage happening right here in Inside Arkansas. And it doesn't just stop with the show. Again, we're going to have a lot of great stuff when it comes to the report card, the accountability session. I'm bringing back the Razorback devotional, to really get everyone's spirits uplifted or hellfire and brimstone for that. So
you don't need Jesus on a Sunday.
Yeah, let's say hopefully I don't need to go to him too much tomorrow morning because if that's the case, something really went awry. So let's hope that doesn't end up happening. But either way, we appreciate everybody. We appreciate all of our sponsors. Appreciate BetSaracen for being our title sponsor and making this possible. It's going to be great. It's football season, baby. Razorback football happening today in Razorback Stadium. Be sure to subscribe to us here at Inside Arkansas. Check out all of our podcasts and audio form wherever podcasts are found. And we'll see you there. For Andrew Ellis, this is Curtis Wilkerson, and intern Cameron. I'm John Neighbors. Same. I'm not even going to say it because it doesn't matter. We'll see you after the game, post-game show for Inside Arkansas football. Enjoy the game day, folks. See you then.